Oh, what do we have here? Well, HeyWoah After Dark. Ramen Breeze thanks Big Prime. Appreciate it. Brand new primer. Steinwan thanks for the Prime. 19 months. Hungry Panda thanks for the Tier 1. Storm Chad reveal time. I mean, Skaven won last time, so they have to, right? Combat Chan thanks to the 21. And some Norwegian dude for Tier 3. Tier 3 is kind of big. Thanks to the 45 months. A massive.
Good job, King.
Perfect streak. Ortiz thanks for 269 bits. And IU Stein thanks to Tier 1, 25 months. Literally 2 birthdays worth of time. Yeah.
Good job, King.
Yeah, it's about that. Kicker 7 thanks to Tier 1, 44 month streak. Can't stop.
So fucking big.
Will not stop.
I'm sorry, my dude, but you're huge.
So fucking big. There's a 201, Ortiz. So let me have Foot Dude Stormcast with bows so I can proxy all my stuff. Yeah. I wonder what they'll do with that one. They can't just be replacing what they retired. Right? We'll see. You'd think they would have said they would, if they were. Greetings also to YouTube, by the way. Funny streamline. Oh, they can and they will. Where's Vandus Hammerhand, the Lightning Man? Ichi Bandus Hanzo Hand? Evander Hammerfield? I don't know. Could it be? Vandus Lightning Hand? Chrome Raven thinks it's a big prime for 2 months. They would never just make the same thing, but a little different. I mean, think about who we're talking about here. They wouldn't dare. Please no more Stormcast bloat. Leave us with less than before the squat. You know, sometimes it's a real good thing to play the poster children of a game. And sometimes your cup overfloweth. You're suffering from success. You are always buying new stuff that's just better than the old stuff. Sometimes it's the Midas curse. This is a little more appropriate, I guess, because it's gold. They have 2 wizards and one is 600 points.
Sophisticated, relaxing.
Oh.
Kind of invigorating.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't appreciate it like we connoisseurs do.
Everybody doesn't appreciate it like we connoisseurs do. Einstein is 5 tier 1s to the HeyWoah community on Twitch. The big grip of 5. Thanks a lot. We got a level 4 hype train. I appreciate the generosity. Peep. Surely. Hopefully new Dragon Corgi riders. Oh, I wish. Those, to me, they look so bad. 5 souls, saved from being shot, and saved from watching ads. Don't do that if you can help it. Watching ads, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. Thanks for the follow, Delight. Anything that's not in the shelf zone is illegable, yeah. Stormcast Dreadnought, let's go. A baby carrier Stormcast, how about? Monsieur HeyWoah, may you bring us good news and bigger days. Well, I'll bring you bigger days. Good news, I'm just the messenger. I am a viewer just like you, except I clicked go live on OBS. We will react in kind. Mattcast, Rose Turnals incoming. It's just a him. No shirts, but still the pauldrons. You'll be there tomorrow for the OSGT. Nice. Yeah, sounds good. I couldn't get out of the wizard tower for that one. As you know, I rarely do. But I will, I think, later this year. Twice, perhaps. Can't recall. At least once later this year. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that you have 2 wizards and 1 600 points now. I mean, you used to have 7 or something. They retired at least 4 wizards. So, you know, you used to have some really cool wizards. In fact, Knight Incanter was one of my favorite wizards in the game. Knight Incanter. First of all, cute and fun alternative sculpt that they sold briefly. Auto unbind scroll. Gotta love it. And the price was right, like 120 or something. Never forget. Never forget what they took from you. Keep seeing people saying Stormcast Felix Jaeger, and you're praying that doesn't happen. Felix Jaeger? Is that from... I'm trying to think of something it's obviously not from. Is that from Pacific Rim? Stacker Pentecost, let's go. Yeah, he's the Russian robot. Alright, sweet. Grinders isn't terrible, but you don't want to pull all your eggs in that one basket. Yeah, I get it. Let's get some foot wizards in here. Oh, that's right. Striker Eureka. Gypsy Danger. They all had... Everyone in that movie was, like, not American playing Americans, and it was very obvious. But it was a dubbed live-action anime, possibly even from Inception, and so I appreciate that part of it. And, of course, the art design was impeccable. Because it was Del Toro, right? You can take a Stormcast Gypsy Danger. I'd paint it up. A resculpt of Celestin Prime would be big. Yeah, true. You know, I remember when Celestin Prime basically came out, and I'm like, that doesn't look good. And it hasn't aged well either. Those D6 knee pads. Can we have the actual Hammer of Sigmar be, like, cool? I don't know. Maybe the point is that it looks normal, but... Grease Man has yet to make a stinker. You think Relictors aren't going to be Ruination themselves, but are going to be leading Ruination in lore? That could be the case. The Lightning Rod Priests. Watch Celestin Prime get a resculpt, and it still looks amazing in contrast to the new Blood Angels. I mean, just about anything... I don't know, I don't want to rag on the new Blood Angels too hard because I'm not a 40k player, but so I won't. I'm like, yeah, those are Space Marines. Awesome. Great. You know, at some point Iron Jaw's get a spearhead. Agree. I wonder what the roadmap is going to look like. I hope it isn't as bare bones as the last one. But last time, we were giving them props for even doing one, because we have to treat this company like a dog that only just barely learned how to sit on command sometimes. And so even doing a roadmap is like, oh, good job, you buddy. Good work. But, man, I hope it's not going to be what it is. Like they'll tell us what the next 2 are, and then the 2 after that, mystery, battle to mystery order, mystery destruction, and then after that, it's just like darkened characters from a fighting game. Who will it be? It's the mystery box. We market our game as if it's marketed to children, instead of old guys and dads and stuff. When you don't care about Space Marines, all Marine reveals are lame Space Marine reveals. I mean, usually, yeah. Most Space Marine sculpts, to me, are very boring. The Blood Angel ones are, like, particularly boring, but most of them are really boring to me anyway. And the ones that aren't are either, like, funny Like the big like bazooka stupid looking gun ones, like those are funny. I'll take funny over really boring any day of the week. Here comes a new challenger. Order, chaos, order, 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 chaos, order. Fingies crossed. Oh yeah, Malarian Shadow Elves, finally. Finally / soon. Are we live? We're kind of live. We're live starting soon. What's this knock button down here? Ask to join the stream? Oh yeah, okay, Twitch has this new feature that's so obnoxious. Let Warhammer... I don't know if you can see it behind the chat. I'm gonna hide the chat. Alright. Let Warhammer know that you want to drop in and collaborate on their live stream. As a streamer, it just puts this here, and I can click and ask the live broadcast if I can join their shit. And if they haven't done their settings correctly or misclick, I would appear live on their live channel. What an awful feature. You can't turn it off. The only way you can turn it off is going into the menu, turning it on, and then saying that there's a blacklist or there's a whitelist, and then putting nothing in there. It's so shit. I haven't because I think it's funny, and nobody's actually clicked on it. I don't think it auto does it. It just pops up something. But if you don't know what it is and just click while you're live, some random other streamer can like join your stream. Who wanted this? Twitch W's. We normally get 6 months ahead, which is actually quite a lot of content, a lot of time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on who you're comparing it to, right? There is no L in Twitch. That's true. You can see the value in the collab concept. There is already a collab and a collab interface. There already was. And a multi-stream thing as well. This is just an extra one that's slightly different that pops up everywhere. And you can't really opt out of. The other one was like a planned thing, like a planned collab where, ooh, I want to collab with this person, but I don't want to, you know, yeah, how do you split the views, right? They already had that. Did they reveal the battle tomes to make all those brand new cards they sold obsolete? Yeah. I kind of resent the cards. And it's maybe a little unfair of me to do that. But I kind of resent the cards. I know they're useful to people who don't have phones. But because it's in printed media, it means they're unlikely to change any actual war scrolls. Once they're printed, you know. I guess they're printed in the books too. But I think people are pretty used to now finding the books just kind of irrelevant. Always. And especially after the FAQ of every battle tome that comes out. If you bought those cards when the indexes were free to download,
Good job, King.
we're talking about Games Workshop fans, alright? Most of their hobby is actually just buying stuff and calling it a hobby. V-Monk, thanks to tier 1, 40 months. Oh yeah, also this. What army does Bizarro World HeyWoah play? I almost played Skaven when the game came out. I almost played Skaven because I liked Storm Fiends. I thought Storm Fiends looked cool. And I liked the big demon rats. But everything else looked really bad and old. So I decided against it. So I guess like Alternative Dimension Me could have been playing Skaven this whole time. Bizarro HeyWoah plays 40k. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, Bizarro HeyWoah plays 40k. And I rose to the top. I became like a legitimately, possibly kind of known YouTuber streamer because I was in the popular game, because I chose the popular game. And it's me instead of Bricky collaborating with all the VTuber waifus. So actually Bizarro HeyWoah completely won. That's the better timeline. But I'm playing a way shittier game with a way shittier community with way more boring models and somehow worse rules. So, like, you know, the monkey's paw curls. Nothing's perfect. Just find someone to collab on Shenmue 2 with. Yeah, there you go. VTubers or good rules. You get one. VTubers! Ah! Bizarro HeyWoah is just Bricky. Yeah, I'm younger somehow. I'm more attractive. I upload more videos on YouTube. I'm in shape. I have more hair. Jesus. Stop making me think about alternative dimension HeyWoah. It's getting me depressed. Yeah, touches grass sometimes. A fancier wizard tower. It's not a log cabin wizard tower. It's a wizard tower made of MDC materials. It's a shame because you love 40k lore, but the community in game is just eh. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of what it is. If it's any consolation, 40k lore is a lot better than AOS lore, right? So that's nice. Wizard Tower of Glass. Is that a Gunslinger reference? You are the main timeline, HeyWoah. Clean shaven alternate, yeah. I'm getting like YouTube sponsors for Gillette razors and stuff. I use these every day. This here, this is a 5 o'clock shadow. This happens from 6 a.m. until now. Clean shaven every morning. That's the power of Gillette. AOS lore has potential. It sure does. The ground floor, setting the table for the setting, has potential. The alternative dimension good AOS lore is just Planescape Torment, right? Like Planescape. So, like it, but it doesn't, they don't get much farther than that. Like the first sentence, and then everything else needs to be different. There's like little tidbits and stuff, and those are fun. You can find those all over the place. But +1 as much as you enjoy a lot of AOS, the lore is really boring for you. Feels inconsistent, lacks themes, and lacks interesting characters. AOS is definitely Wish Planescape. Yeah. That being said, like, there is a difference between setting and story and characters. I think
Good job, King.
I think the 40k setting is really interesting. But I don't like anything they do with it. And the plot and story is nothing. And I don't like the characters. So it's hard to talk about, really. Like, the little tiny lore details and lived in stuff like that is really cool, and I like the setting. But plot, story, characters, no way for 40k. Tension 8105, things at tier 1. Food poisoning, hell yeah, sorry. That shit sucks. You want to learn AOS lore, but there's not many resources to learn it compared to 40k. Yeah. You need people to care about it. That's the thing. People gave a shit about fantasy's lore. And so they made like Wikipedias and stuff about it. People gave a shit about 40k lore, so they made Wikipedias and shit. No one cared about AOS lore, and so there really isn't much.
Hi, my name is Adam. Welcome to the Nova Preview Show.
It's Adam.
Today's show is going to be
Loads.
a little different to our usual previews. Instead of focusing specifically on upcoming
How's this?
miniatures,
Louder?
I'm going to be giving you a little insight into the future of loads of your favourite games and systems.
Loads.
We'll even be joined by some of the
He
talented
said it.
people from the Warhammer studio to give you the inside scoop. So, whether you're a fan of the grim darkness of Warhammer 40,000, a daring traveller in the mortal realms of
There's a
Warhammer
little audio
Age of
delay.
Sigmar,
Can you...
or you're engaged in any of our other
There's a little delay.
prepare to be delighted. Let's dive right in.
Is it loading? I am Jura. Oh. No, Blood Bowl. No, 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 no. Oh, no. And the monkey's paw curls. No. Surely they can't do this to them, right? Like, I hate Chorf enjoyers more than almost anyone else, but they wouldn't be so cruel to only give them a Blood Bowl team, right?
This is quite an exciting moment. Loads of new things that even though I'm
If it's only Blood Bowl, I don't even wish that upon people I don't like.
Dan, lots of
Don't do that to them.
Yes, so we've thankfully got the return of the Hobgoblin lineman, the humble Hobgoblin lineman, there to do all of the
We're gonna
less interesting
see-
parts of Blood Bowl as far as the Chaos Dwarves are
Get
concerned.
punched.
Get punched, move the ball.
Surely
around the field, that
Chorf's,
kind of
right?
thing. But we've
Chorf's
also got a
in
new
one of the
Chaos
two
Dwarf
real
called
games.
Hobgoblin Sneaky Stabber, and they fulfill the role of sort of hired cut men and assassins. So they're going to follow important players around and stick the knife in when they're not looking.
Amazing, awesome. That's an
Oh.
exciting opportunity to see something new for the Hobgoblins that have purely just been there to get punched and.
Yeah, it gives a chance
Why
for
the Chorf
the
hate?
Hobgoblins to
King.
find a little bit of the limelight.
I
They're
don't
never
hate
gonna
Chorfs.
Outstage the Chaos Dwarves
I hate
themselves,
Chorf
but
fans
sometimes
because they're the
Goblins
most
have
annoying
great,
fans of
designs
any
of
army that
grandeur
doesn't
and this
exist.
ideal of them becoming stars of Blood Bowl, but
They're
we know who the
incessant. They
stars
won't
of
shut the
Blood Bowl
fuck
are,
up.
and when it comes to the Chaos
That's-
Dwarf teams,
that's the
it's
honest
Chaos
truth.
Dwarfs.
Speaking of the Chaos Dwarfs, then Jay, two different types of Chaos
And their
Dwarfs
army
within
is
the
boring
set.
and looks stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the classic Chaos Dwarf blocker. They are back and badder than ever. Some lovely new miniatures, big hats, horns, everything you love about your Chaos Dwarfs. But there's also the Chaos Dwarf Flamesmiths, which are these brand new positionals. They use like
just look at the
alchemical
model,
solutions
even the
which they'll
new
drink to spit fire
model, yeah,
at their opposition. Something
What
Chaos
am I
Dwarfs, they
looking
love
at?
Fire. It's a big thing for them, but it gives them a chance to potentially knock down opposition players, even injure them. But there's also that chance that maybe they drink a little bit too much, it goes a little bit wrong, and it might engulf them in flame instead. So we've got your two different types of Chaos Dwarf through that as well.
Incredible. So all of those four positions, they're what you find within the forthcoming plastic kit.
I mean, they're supposed to
Also
look
saw a
ugly.
horror from my childhood. I remember
So-
getting mauled by a bull centaur.
I'm trying
when
to
Henry used
defend them
play
now
with
for
me all the
fairness
time,
sake.
And the bull centaur is back.
Yes, the Bull Centaur is back in new Forge World resin kit. There's 2 miniatures in the kit, absolutely stunning miniatures. And any
Can
Chaos
you
Dwarf
guys
player
tell
wearing
that
their
there
soul gonna
is
want
there
to
an
get these
audio
boxes
delay
in
for
plastic
you as
box
well? I'm
to
seeing an
add a
audio
little bit more
delay
punch
here.
and a bit more speed to their Chaos Dwarf roster.
Incredible. So speaking of sort of
Yeah, I can lower the
punch and
volume.
speed, there's obviously some new
How's that?
tactics in the offing for the Chaos Dwarf team. Jay, what can we expect to see from the Chaos Dwarfs on the gridiron?
Yeah, so we've taken the opportunity. not just
Forge
to update
World
miniatures,
resin.
but
I mean,
also
it's a
to
Blood Bowl
update
game,
the
right? So it
skills
woulda
and the tactics that
it
you
would have
can use
been
with them,
Forge
during
World
the
resin
course
no
of the
matter
game.
what, which is
Chaos
better
Dwarf
than
blockers
Fine
are very
Cast,
similar
to be
how they're
fair.
used to, but they also have Ironhard skin, as all Chaos Dwarfs now do, and that is a chance for us to update that mutation. And that
I don't
skill
really
from the
like any
core
of the Blood Bowl
make
models
it
though. I'm
useful,
just like
and it
a,
now allows
I'm not
Chaos
like a
Dwarves to
Forge
ignore
World
any
enjoyer.
modifiers
It
to their armor
doesn't
roll.
hit me
So
right.
it's not just ignoring claws; it'll ignore mighty blow, anything like that as well. It's sort of to represent them sort of turning to stones slightly through the use of their dark magics. The Flamesmith is great for, like I said, setting fire to people. Hopefully not themselves, but there's a chance for them to knock down.
Just doing it, we're getting
players.
Chorfs.
Your sneaky stabbers
Yes,
will
but
stab,
also
so there's a good
no.
chance that they can run
It's
in,
Blood Bowl.
take someone out with low armor, and then move on as well. But that's kind of how they play. They're very much still a punchy team up front, and you still.
And you know, I'm no friend of Chorfs,
to score a few
but
touchdowns. I think they're
it'd be a real kick in the
terror
teeth
on the
that
gridiron.
all the rumors
I
for
can't wait to
Chorfs
see how
was
people
actually
sort of
Blood Bowl
take to them
instead
and
of any of the two
put them
real
across in
games.
leagues and tournaments.
Sounds awesome. As a
That would be sad. Now I'm sad for
getting beaten up by Chaos Dwarfs.
Chorf enjoyers now.
Suitably frightening, and also relying on a tree man to punch all the.
Is this enough Chorfs to stop hearing about them? No, not ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shocking.
Not ever.
Okay. Well, while I reel from that, all of
There
this
were like
information
30
is contained in
messages
the new Spike Journal,
a day.
issue 18. Dan, what can we expect in the new
When
Spike Journal?
they printed
anyone
one
who's
sentence
read a Spike Journal
in
before will know
some
of the
lore
usual fixtures.
somewhere.
We'll have some background diving into
Because
what
apparently
Chaos
it's a
Dwarves are,
playable
what
army
Blood
in
Bowl,
Total
and
War.
some famous teams that we've seen on the gridiron, including the
Instead of
infamous
just a really
Hobgoblin
expensive
team,
army
those
that no one played
fans
in
who have
Fantasy.
been around for a while. We'll
Yeah,
also
Tamer
see
Khan,
3
new
Starlight
model
Spotlights
when,
covering some of the
please,
biggest names in
GW.
Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl, as well as I say, those returning fixtures. We've got a chat with the Rat, we've got an interview with Tatsina. So those usual fixtures that fans have come to love with Spike Magazine.
Thanks, Jay and Dan, for coming.
Could have been
down and
worse. It could have been
telling us
Old
about
World.
Chaos Dwarfs.
That's where they
It's all really
belong.
exciting. I can't wait to see them on the gridiron, although a
To
little
me,
bit nervous.
I think.
For the rest of us, we're going to come back in a moment in the Mortal Realms, where we're going to look
Do Chorf
at the
people
aftermath of
not
the
feel that
Hellbound,
way?
some new Stormcast
It's a
Eternal
fantasy
releases.
army. Put it in the fantasy game, I imagine.
Hope has turned to ruin as the Skaven proved too
maybe I'm
strong
wrong.
for the noble Stormcast Eternals.
I just imagine that like anybody who knows what Chorfs are is 45 years old and was one of the 12 people who played it in
the mortal realms,
Fantasy.
reforged to fight another day.
Fight another day. There's the guy. Huge terrain feature. Horus the Redeemed. It's him. They're back. Stormstrike Paladors. Or Paratons, which form? Hammerman, 40k links of time. Lord Celestin. Yo, that Relictor's looking kind of nice, though. Oh shit, who's this? Iridian the Witness? There's a headsman's axe helmet, or hood on the bird. The War Rag
Welcome
S
back.
on.
Joined now by Matt and Phil from the Warhammer Age of Sigmar team.
The
to talk
Bird
about the aftermath
Secutioner.
of the Hellcrown experience. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Phil.
Thanks. Great to be
Lovely
here.
to have you.
There he is,
join
Red
me.
Mose.
So, with the slaughter at Hellcrown
Matt
concluded,
cast Rose
and
Turnal.
Skaven running roughshod across the city, we've got a chance to look at all the new Stormcast Eternal releases that are coming. I wonder if we can just start from the top and talk about the new Stormstrike.
Why don't we just
Paladins.
start from the top?
These are epic cavalry. They're
Endless
really fast,
nut.
hit hard. They have a certain way of essentially getting retribution for their fallen. So these are a counter-strike in a way, aren't
Yeah,
they?
absolutely. And this is really giving that kind of core, hard-hitting, heavy cavalry to the Stormcast Eternals. And as Phil said, you know, they have this kind of ride for vengeance, effectively.
Okay.
Whereas other warriors are falling, you know, they're really that second wave that's going to come smash through into the enemy.
Counter-Strike is a
devastating
legit
charge.
strategy in the
Really
game.
fun to use on the tabletop.
Or counter-charge if
Or
you
counter-charge,
spend the command
absolutely.
points
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, they're a really great.
Oh, he's
late game
smiling.
attack.
That's a
Such
rule.
great
They
play.
mentioned a rule.
That sounds
Rules
amazing.
mentioned.
And we also saw some fantastic character models. My favourite, I've always loved the new Lord Relictor model.
Oh yes, yeah.
I've
Well,
always
these go way
loved
back, don't
the
they?
new
We saw the
Relictor.
First one back in the Realmgate Wars, Ionis Cryptborn, essentially the catalyst that formed these ruination chambers.
Yeah.
The Lord Relictors are kind of like the spiritual guardians of the Stormcast, and so
Some
they have
of
a
the
profound
only
effect
cool-looking
on the warriors around
Stormcast
them, and
ever
they've pretty
were
meaningful fights as
Relictors
well.
over the
Yeah,
years.
and, you know, they just give you that really great core, reliable priest unit. Priests, obviously, very, very powerful in the new edition of Age of Sigmar, the way that you can build up rituals over multiple turns. And this is kind of one of the strongest core infantry priest characters across almost any faction.
Yeah, I
Sounds
agree.
Awesome. And I love all the sort of morbid imagery.
He's
It's
less
so-
wide.
Yeah, of course.
On a similar vein, there's a new Lord Terminus miniature. And what can you tell us about Lord Terminus and their role within the Stormcast?
A new
Eternals?
Lord
Oh, you're
Terminus.
right
Is
to
this
say
our
it's
new
more
Knight
imagery.
Lieutenants?
These guys are really the final point of the of a lot of Stormcast journey.
Make him
Happens very rarely.
wider.
because These guys can occasionally set the Stormcast out away from their eternal curse.
Don't Stormcast have
Living, fighting,
heavy
being
cavalry?
reborn
Yes.
Over and over again.
They
But yes,
always
they're
have
also
had
pretty
them
good at
since
taking
the
off the enemy's heads with
other
their
ones.
two-handed axes as well. Which
one
is,
of the
yeah,
few things they
it's
do
really
have
hard.
is heavy cap.
Oh yeah, and you know, fun to use, and
Now
nice
they have
synergy with
more,
that brand new Ruination Chamber, which is now expanding with a few more options to bring into play.
Hold on.
You
I have to-
segue beautifully into great new Reclusian models.
Because of this new kit, you can now have a great variety, and you could actually
point-
field just a Ruination Chamber.
Well,
with these
especially
models.
especially with some of the models we're talking about and will continue to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the Ruination Chamber is really being fleshed out as you
Fleshed
know, a
out.
really fully fledged chamber with interesting
Fully
synergies
fleshed
within it,
chamber.
interesting abilities.
Yo, who's that dude?
And you know, the Reclusians form.
Yo, that guy
one of
looks
the
kinda
core
sick, though.
Elite units.
They're your
Big
rank and
mace.
file.
Yeah.
The Ruination Chamber, but each one of them is
Pretty
like
elite
this
level, right?
really high elite warrior.
Uncle
And they come
Fester
with
looking
the
ass guy.
Glorians, those are almost like their squires who are.
Uncle
there to
Fester
remind them of
dual-wielding
these
axes.
Such a great image, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It gives great scale. You can see just how big and powerful a Stormcast is.
You know,
Big.
one of the common threads that'll apply to all of the Ruination Chamber units is that incredible
Finally, some
resistance,
flanged
right? They've
maces.
been through so much. They've been reforged so many times. They're going into just the absolute worst, most devastating, most deadly places. You know, whether it's enemy spells or prayers or abilities or debuffs or you know different things.
She looks so
They
fucking
kind of have this
wide. The
ability, unlike
paladins are
any other units in the
not
game, they don't
paladins,
shrug
but
that
the
off and
Stormcast
keep
are so
going.
It's a really nice
fucking
point of
big.
the lore and
So
the rules
stupid.
of the tabletop sort of coinciding to
Yeah,
give you the right feel.
Uncle Fester is
Awesome.
natty.
Talking
Don't
perhaps
talk about it.
At the other end of the Stormcast spectrum, we've got a new Lord Celestin.
Donut
fantastic
steel.
miniature with great new options.
Core infantry commander, you know, really works well. Can fight.
Hey, can
back
she
to back.
have like an
With
ability
units, opens
now?
up a lot of builds, and you know, it's just
She
just
killed a
great
lion.
option for that kind of
Give her a good ability.
general
Bad
on foot
pose, yeah.
archetype,
Well,
to go
okay,
in and
from this
lead the
angle, who
forces.
knows? But it doesn't look like a
Whenever
good
I play my
pose to me.
Stormcast Eternal Army,
I'm
I
already
see myself
judgmental.
As the Lord Celestin in the ranks. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
it's an
that's
important
the
part for me
general is you
personally.
on the battlefield,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Matt
It's a beautiful kit as
pose.
well, and as you said,
Right.
lots of fun options, and you kind of just customize it to really make your own Lord Celestin.
That's fantastic. Speaking of sort of
Oh, big.
that existed around
JB thinks of the
first
bits.
iteration. I remember learning way back in time about Torglug, and he's been on a journey, and we now have Taunus the Redeemed. Just an
Taunus the
incredible looking
Redeemed.
miniature. What can you tell us about Taunus?
So Taunus
He has
is
a cool
really
story.
interesting character because, as you say,
And he has a really cool side
early
story with
Realm
Vandus.
Wars, Really, he's one of the first characters we got to know.
Like
His
legitimately
backstory,
good.
As you intimated, Torglug
In a
once upon
over-the-top
time,
way.
Was as a farmer, he was defending his village against Nurgle, and he fought so hard and he held out for so long, but eventually Nurgle got him. But he was redeemed by Galmaraz, so
Glug.
there was still a bit of goodness in him. They reforged that into Taunus the Redeemed. We've seen his character evolve even more.
And
he's
we got
now
some
a
cross-hilt
leader of the
spears,
Ruination
which
Chamber.
is
He's put aside
something
his
I rather
personal
like.
vendettas for the good of his brothers, and he's become a Knight of Zeros. He takes the light of Sigmar to guide the lost. So he's had a really interesting story arc, that guy.
I'm all about a good redemption arc. Just a fantastic journey. The kit doesn't just make Taunus a Redeemed, though. It also makes a standard Knight of Zeros. Is that right?
Usually when they talk about a character arc, it's
Standard,
growth,
Knight
you
of
know,
Zeros
or...
has a little bit more
But this
synergy
is the
directly
arc
with
of a
Velocity,
swinging
which
hammer,
kind of
like hitting him in
flying
the
and
fucking
supporting
heart.
with that wing. So both really.
But
fun
alright,
options.
that's...
I love
Canonically,
the,
that's the power of
Taunus's
Galmaraz,
whole
so
arc
fair
and
enough.
Just seeing that realized on the tabletop is really fun.
So obviously Taunus and the Knight of Zeros, they can get around nice and quick. But my experience of my Storm
Can get around nice and quick.
is a little bit slower on their feet. That's where the Stormreach portal comes in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a complete building. It's in that Azerite Art Deco style. It's a massive, great, powerful thing. And this has been built by
Only
the Stormcast and
$240.
the Memorians to essentially act as a kind of a battery of storm power that enables them to get.
Oh, wait, is this
essentially
their
teleport
army
really
terrain
blurs of
feature?
lightning.
So what the Stormreach portal opens.
Oh
up
no, I
for
just
the
thought it
first
was a
time
normal terrain,
is
cool
having that
Azeroth
option
thing.
to hold some of your troops back defend that home territory.
Never
and then
mind.
go through
Stormcast
that
must
portal
buy a
just
terrain
deep
feature
strike
now.
into,
Get fucking shit on.
deep into the battlefield.
They
later
come
on in
out of the
game.
portal.
Game has a lot of movement aspects to it. Claiming objectives is huge. So, yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it.
Oh, that's awesome. So the showstopper for this set of Stormcast Eternal
The
releases
showstopper.
has to be
Look at this
Witness.
dude.
Can you fill us in on what they're about?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is the first Stormcast
Boy.
to ever take another Stormcast life, which is obviously a huge deal. They couldn't stand to see their brother-in-arms suffer anymore, and that poor unfortunate was bleeding for an end, and Iridan gave it to them with essentially a magic act.
They're the merciful
And that has given them
executioners of other
oblivion. Now,
Stormcast.
Sigmar wanted an answer as to why that happened, and Iridan ended up talking to Sigmar himself about this, and pleaded their case so eloquently and so well that actually it is now a formally recognized thing that can happen in the Ruination Chambers, and the Order of the Lord Terminos has come to be as a result of Iridan. They keep the memories and the sagas and the war histories of all those that they have to end. They're very responsible. This happens very rarely, but in a way they are a moral compass for the Ruination Chambers, and naturally they
Gods
bring
on
vengeance to
speed
chaos
dial.
on their great Morgriff as well, striking like a bolt from the blue.
Yo,
so
Big
we've got a
Siggy.
really great active character joining the.
Can I put this guy down?
That's bleak and awesome. No,
Yeah,
the
sure,
kit
whatever. I don't care.
has a separate component, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. So you can also build this kit as a
I really like the
Vigilant on
chainmail.
Wargriff as well. And that gives you two really different kind of roles
I'm
on
a
the
fan.
battlefield. The Lord
I like the
Vigilant,
drapes.
as with the Lord Vigilant in the Scaventide starter set, this time with a much bigger mount, is your kind of classic commander for your
Two builds?
Ruination Chamber. Also,
Two different poses,
formidable
kinda.
fighter and a lot of speed with the Morgriff going around the battlefield.
Yo, kind of cool helmet too.
Iridan the Witness
job,
is a
King.
priest, first of all. As we talked about, always a
Lebanon
useful
Writhing's
archetype,
46.
Really, a lot of powerful prayer abilities that they can use, and has
Dude,
more
I
of a
like
support
him.
role for the
Second
armies.
pose, a lot
while being
better.
Certainly no slouch in combat.
Awesome.
Wings look awkward.
Sounds,
Oh, I didn't look at the
incredible.
wings.
Well, look,
I like the glaive.
It's been amazing having you guys come. and
Hellbird,
fill me
I
in,
get
and
it.
everybody here in on
Yeah.
all these outstanding new Stormcast Eternal releases. Thank you for coming. Coming up next, we'll be joined by Ben from the Warhammer.
Thank you for
Age of Sigmar
coming.
team to talk about the
Loads.
future roadmap.
Oh, roadmap? Time for a mode wrap?
So Ben, it's obviously been a really big year for.
Oh,
Age of
we're just
Sigmar.
here.
What are the highlights?
teleported
for
Ben.
you throughout the year.
I think the highlights for me it's the Dawnbringer Crusade and those builds.
It's the Dawnbringer Crusade. This guy sounds so funny. His voice.
Personally, for me, Spearhead. It's such a great format of the game, and it's been so well received by everybody.
Everybody's playing it right now in all of my gaming groups. Yeah.
I've just come back from a
Does
weekend
HeyWoah
at
finally like a
where we played 10
bird?
games over
Dude,
a
apparently all you have to do is give it a hat, and then my moral compass
have a single one.
becomes confused. I don't know how to feel about it.
So I've just booked into an event actually where you can bring 5 different ones and play 5 games throughout the
They have a
event.
purple sun
aggregate
plush
yourself.
That's
pillow
awesome. I
on
can't
that
stop
couch.
looking at the Gloomspite Gits at the moment.
They're a lot of fun because they've got a bit of everything. They've got some infantry, some heavy guys with the rut guts, and then they've got the speed with the Boingrots as well.
I've never painted like Gits en masse either. So
nice.
I feel like it's luring. Anyway, I know
Malibu
you've been hard at
Stacy,
work
new
in your
hat.
team working on lots of stuff for Battle Tomes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Battle Tomes was a really big project within the studio, and we've tried to look at them from front to back to make them
Good.
visually different.
Some of them I was
content in there
thinking
from
that you
a background
hadn't.
and a rules point of view, from photography as well.
Oh, photography.
Really hard to make them really exciting, and
Yeah.
hopefully they make you feel like it's the first book you've ever bought. That feeling that you get back again.
It sounds awesome. So not just visual, but there's going to be new lore and new rules and things as well.
Yeah, so there's new lore. Obviously, the Age of Sigmar storyline
New lore.
progresses on. We tell you new things that have happened since the Scaventide and the Vermin Doom, and how that has impacted particularly Skaven and obviously Stormcast Eternals, but also lots of little new nuggets based on all the new miniatures as well.
Sounds incredible. Thank you. So we've talked a little bit about
Incredible.
Skaven and about the Stormcast Eternals. What does the rest of 2024 look like?
Oh, so it's packed. So
Oh.
we've got a new Chaos Battle Tome on the way. And a new narrative book as well, which is very much like the General's Handbook, but for narrative.
Narrative
That's
handbook.
a must buy, I think, for people.
So you're looking to sort of have those really thematic games that link together. That's
right.
one
Packed.
for you.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So that's 2024. Obviously, 2025 is rushing in on us. What can you tell us about a glimpse of the future?
More battle tomes, more spearheads, starting with
More spearheads, starting with destruction, IJ. Then death.
Those fans of those Grand Alliances have got a lot to look forward to.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for hanging around and sort of filling us in on like a roadmap for the future. That's
More
awesome.
spearhead
The rest of
destruction.
you
It's got to
can
be
join
IJ.
right back. Warhammer
Basically
40,000
confirmed, right?
seconds.
And then death. All right,
We're joined
Horhammer,
now by Stu
40k.
from the Warhammer 40,000 studio team. Stu's here to tell us a little bit about the Warhammer 40,000 roadmap for the
It's
future.
probably
and talk
slaves,
a little bit
yeah,
about what's
I
happened
agree.
so far this year. Welcome, Stu. Thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Looking back at the year so far, it's been an amazing year for Warhammer 40,000. What are the highlights?
So there's so many to choose from, isn't there?
Right.
So I think we're about 8 codexes this year, I think.
Been a busy time.
Yeah, it certainly has. The Dark Angels.
The best of all of the codex.
I didn't know Freddie Williams worked
Might
at
say that.
Games
A
Workshop.
little bit biased. Chaos Space Marines. We've had the Gene Stealer Cults, Sisters of Battle, Deptus Custodes, Orcs. Actually the best faction in 40k.
At least they're green.
They are green. So loads of really, really fun stuff. And we've got plenty more to come.
I'm
We've
just-
also had a couple
I need
of
one
things like
person.
narrative play. We've had the Prime
Out of the
Nexus,
400 people
Saber,
watching me, I need
which
one
is
person
really
to
fun
get
as
that
well.
joke, and then
So
we're
go
good,
back and
okay?
See what the Silent King's been up to in that part of the 40k
Silent
universe.
Kings.
Yeah, fantastic. Building out that war zone and giving people something to sort of sink their teeth into from a campaign and narrative perspective is great.
Yeah, and we also then picked that up with the latest match play.
Beard game is on
mission
point.
deck as
Somebody
well.
said it.
Also set
Kyle
in
the Cozy got
Nexus.
it. Thank you.
It's been really good fun, kind of exploring different bits of the kind of.
It wasn't really a joke. It was
universe
more
through
a
the different
reference.
lenses.
Fantastic. So that's sort of the year that's been.
Fellow Red Letter Media fan. First of all, yes, but also Freddie Williams did a lot of art
Yeah,
for
so I
Palladium
think,
Rift.
Blood Angels.
Right.
So
the
I
second
knew
best
about
Angels
Freddie
maybe.
Williams way before Red Letter
So they get
Media.
their time in the sun between now and Christmas. Lots of really exciting new releases for them.
But anyway,
And
yeah,
then
Red Letter
it
Media
really
joke.
kicks off in the new year with all kinds of exciting things.
So
He was one of the
we dive
two
into
good
the new
artists
year,
that Rift's
one of the
ever
things I've always
hired
loved about
next to
Blood Angels is
Perez.
They just look incredible, right? I think from a visual perspective,
They don't look
maybe the
incredible.
most attractive
I
Warhammer
disagree.
40,000 army there is, and there's incredible releases.
What a pan.
coming out alongside this. What's exciting about the Blood Angels for you in this release?
Yeah, so I think one of the really, really cool things you
They
touched
look
on there, they're
incredibly-
really visually striking, aren't they? With like the red,
All
the
right.
black and gold, the three kind
Me
of
when I lie.
different ways, I guess, of showing the Blood Angels.
Yep.
So we've got a bunch of stuff that's kind of Death Company themed.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't-
sanguinary stuff.
don't
as well,
care for them too
gold
much.
Armor. So just really visually striking. The return of some really favourite characters. The miniatures team have done a fantastic job bringing
Big
those kind of,
axes, right.
really beloved characters to life in a new way. So that's going to be very exciting.
Awesome. So that sees us through to the end of the year. A little bit of a tease about what comes further down the road.
Yeah, so we start off the new year with Astra Militarum.
Wow. Okay.
That's
So
Astra Militarum. That's
obviously people
the
have seen the
World War
infantry
II
unit
soldiers
that
in
was released,
space.
via
What are they
Krypton.
called? Imperial Guard?
Absolutely.
We get to round that out
Or
with.
they used to be IG,
Death
and now they're
Warriors,
Astra
which will
Militarum.
be super exciting.
That's going to be amazing.
Really, really.
None
good.
of
Yeah,
you
I
need
think,
to know that. I'm just
like a fan
catching
favourite
myself
regiment.
up.
Yeah.
I think most people have like a favourite Astra Militarum regiment. We know that the Death Corps are really popular, so that'll be very exciting. We're going to follow that.
My
up with some
favourite
of our
regiment is the
launches,
one with the most
really
tanks.
rounding out some of the Aspect Warriors with some new sculpts for those, which will be really cool. And then some really exciting stuff on the horizon after that for the Forces of Chaos.
That sounds incredible.
Forces
What a
of Chaos,
Brilliant
huh?
way to sort of finish off 2024 and then kick off 2025.
Let's
with
finish
an
it
enormous
off.
Bang.
For sure. I mean, Astra Militarum and Eldari, two of the probably the most popular factions in 40k. So yeah.
Oh, are
really
they?
good stuff
Okay.
next year.
Long-awaited things that people can be really excited about. But
Oh yes.
that's really great to have you come and join us and tell us a little bit about the future and sort of flesh out that roadmap for us, Stu. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
As for the rest of you, stay right there. We're going to come back with news from the Age of Darkness and the Horus Heresy.
Age of Darkness. What's that? The Age of Dankness.
Now it is my pleasure to
Is that
welcome
just
Andy,
another name
Lord
for the
of
Horus Heresy?
from the Warhammer studio team who deals with the Age of Darkness and Legions Imperialis. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Adam. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, pleasure. It's really nice to have you here.
This is
It's
exactly
been
what I
an amazing
imagined
couple of
the
years for
30k
Horus
guy to
Heresy
look
setting.
like.
We saw the Age of Darkness launch. It was about 2 years ago now, right?
Summer.
Big
22.
robots.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a time has flown by. And
More
what's that been
cartoony
like
looking
being a-
Space Marines, but
Been
a
crazy
little more
ride,
character
honestly.
to
So
them.
we came out of the gate with a big box set with loads of cool stuff in it. We did new Mark 6.
Andrak Miniatures
Space
is
Marines.
sleeping.
Love those.
I don't know. They had they had the Mars people in Horus Heresy, and that they looked awesome. They looked so cool.
Sort of thing. Veteran squads, you can make loads of stuff
As an
out of all those
outsider
upgrades.
looking in, I thought
We came out with
the
loads of
Mars
tanks
people looked
because
really
we already
cool.
had the designs in resin, so the same
Even their
designs, but we
tanks
made
and
them again
stuff
in
had
plastic.
a really
This is why
interesting
we had so
style
many
to
of those.
them.
And then since then we've brought out Mark 6
Everything
Assault
else looks,
Marines,
you
and
know,
then the really exciting
like what it's
we get
supposed to look
expand
like.
into more factions. So first of all, the first wave.
I don't get the
Solar
beak stuff.
Auxilia,
I kind of like
all
these
those,
guys. These guys look
Allied,
cool.
And then Mechanicum, which is the next
Real
new
diesel
faction.
punk
Yeah, and that's sort of
Nazi-looking
happening right
guys,
now.
I
We're
guess.
seeing the first of the
These dudes are sweet.
absolutely
I like
right.
the
So
robots. The
initially,
tank was
we're
really
taking
cool
that
too with the
dive
cow
into
catcher on
Space
front.
Marines, giving people a really good selection so they can start their journey in plastic. And then we decided to broaden that offering because the more factions you have in the game,
Broaden the
more
offering,
into
get
it, the more
wider.
variety you can get.
More
Which
excuse to
part?
buy cool new stuff.
Exactly.
The lure is quite
I
strong.
pack things
and
with
from a
Prime.
narrative point
Almost
of
2
view,
years
the
with 24
Mechanicum
months.
offers something quite rich. You know, you've got the Martians.
You wish this dude would wake up?
That's right. You've got
Bro, he's
a
working
completely
on
different
Horus Heresy.
type of army to Space Marines with the Mechanicum.
Look at that tank. It's
We
sick.
sometimes
I
like
don't
to
know. I
sort
think
of
the tank
compare
is
them
cool.
to fantasy tropes, if you like. The Mechanicum, we very much think of like a sort of undead army, essentially.
Yeah.
You've got these very sort of arcane, mysterious characters ruling it, and they're a little bit like necromancers, raising up the hordes of dry or wet undead.
Yeah, there's something really disturbing about the sort of that flesh and machine melding. You
Yeah,
can
they're
see
like
that
just zombies. It's
connection to
cool.
them. Are they properly alive anymore? Yeah.
Particularly because you've got different troop types within that army, so you can have hordes
Rifts
of
minis,
tendrils,
I am
for
out.
example, if you want
True.
to go for that shambling zombie horde style army, or you can have lots of robots.
Although
lots of
this is a little more
automatons,
like
sort of dry
50s,
undead
60s
sort of
Starship
feel,
Troopers
but the Magi
kind of
are
thing.
always these
And
characters
Rifts
that are
is much
coordinating
more
the whole
just
thing.
straight
They're
up
using their
80s.
cyberthergic
80s and the
spells,
80s
essentially, to
idea
sort
of what the
control
future
them
would
and
be.
focus them in battle. So it plays completely differently to a Space Marine army, but it also offers lots of different play styles. You can go for hordes, you can go for elites, you can go for big constructs, heavy weapons.
Look at this
the whole-
dude.
That's a really lovely
I love
addition
this
to the
robot.
Age of Darkness and
Dude,
something
imagine
that we're trying to
having
collect
stuff
some
this
into.
awesome and then the 40k
So
army, you
that's
can't play
happening
it.
now. People probably can see them, you know, in their local Warhammer stores or hobby centres.
That sucks.
What's
Sucks
next
for
on the
them.
horizon for the Horus Heresy setting? Be that
HeyWoah loves
Age of Darkness
oblate
or Legions
domes.
Imperialis?
So
I've
specifically
been a
for Age of
dome
Darkness,
enjoyer
First of all, we will carry on
for a
with
few
our
years
journey
now.
into the core Space Marine range. There'll be plenty
A
more coming
dome
out of that.
observer.
Hopefully, quite soon there'll be a melee weapon set.
The long-awaited,
the long-awaited melee set, which we've mentioned in some roadmaps in the past. We're probably almost ready to show those. I'd have thought.
But
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there'll be more Space Marine stuff, more core Space Marine stuff. Longer term, we'll start diving into the individual legions in plastic as well. But for the foreseeable future,
Pondering
there's still
the
core stuff
dome.
because there's a lawful lot there to do. There'll be subsequent waves of Solar Auxilia and of Mechanicum as well. So we'll carry on broadening each of those factions for a little while yet.
That's incredible. It feels like you're sort of just getting started, really.
Plastic
It's
Legion
quite
specific,
funny,
huh?
After 12 years or so of doing the Age of Darkness setting previously with Forge World and then a couple of years doing it in the plastic range, it's just starting to mature, really. So yeah, when we get into the Legion specific stuff down the line, that will be the real awakening.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing
Sounds
yet.
amazing. What can you tell us
Okay.
about future releases for Legions Imperialis?
Legions Imperialis is a great range because it's all plastic and most of it is drawing off of vehicles and unit types.
Oh,
that we
they're just-
already know
they're just a
about
little
from the
guy.
Age of Darkness game. So it's definitely
just
our
little
ambition long
guys.
term that anything that we make for the full
Base your
scale
minis
Age of
on a
Darkness game,
quarter.
we would also make at epic scale
Mhm.
for the Legions Imperialis game. That gives us an enormous.
I don't think I like
amount
the
of stuff
mini,
to explore,
the
so we're
super
likely
mini
to do that
scale.
for many years yet. There's a
They're
huge
like
immensely.
cute in
We
a
came
way
out
because
the
they're so
gate
tiny.
with a core Space Marine and a Solar Auxilia
Like, look
range.
at how fun that
So
is.
obviously
They're
we
kind of
want to
like
carry on expanding that, but there's other
they're
factions
so
to
small that
explore.
they
There's
inevitably look
Mechanicum,
just
there's
kind of
Custodians,
silly.
there's
I
System
think it's
Silence,
neat.
There's a whole load of stuff that we could do in the future as we come
I don't
to
know
it.
that I
There
would
is a
want to
big
squint.
sort of work initially
I would want to squint
to
quite
fill out
that
the
much
Space
to
Marine
paint
range and the Solar
something.
Auxilia
Now.
range, so that's
I
what
suppose
we'll
you
do
could
for
use
the
a
next few years.
magnifying glass.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, look, it's been lovely having you come and join us and sort of inform us on what's happened and is happening for the future of the Age of Darkness and Legions Imperialis. Thank you, Andy. Up next, we're going to the world of legend with the Warhammer Old World team.
Warhammer Old World teams. All right, here it is. Make me excited about you.
I'm joined
Game
now by
I never
Dan from
played.
The Warhammer Old World team. Dan's part of the group that write all of the rules and the lore for the Old World game.
Dan.
It's lovely to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
My pleasure. It's been an amazing year for Warhammer the Old
All right,
World.
we're
We've
gonna
seen
judge
this
him.
renaissance of a system and a
How
setting
good is
I
he
particularly
based on
love.
how many
Found
spells
so
he's
far.
casting
It's
while
been
he
wonderful
talks?
to welcome everybody back to the world of legend. It's one of our most sort of beloved IPs, and it's something that
All right,
we
he's
as a
got
team
some jutsu.
really enjoy delving back into.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's really locked in on
So
that.
Since sort of it returned, What have we seen so far? What have people been able to get involved with?
So we've seen the release of the core game.
Yeah.
Alongside that, we had our launch boxes for the Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings.
Yeah, they had lunch
which went out
boxes.
really well. They were very popular, and people were really excited by the content. We followed that up with the Orc and Goblin Tribes, the Arcane Journal format, and again, the content in there people seem to be really, really resonating with. So we're happy with how that's been going. And then we just most recently had the Dwarven Mountain Holds return.
For me, I'm super excited by those. Some of the miniatures
That
in
guy
the
looked cool.
Warhammer Dwarfs range are amongst my favourites. They were actually the first miniatures I ever bought from
Really?
Games Workshop way back in the day. A tiny little Adam with hair and
Oh,
no beard.
right.
That's fantastic.
Wandering into a Games Workshop store to buy
Tiny
dwarfs.
little
So
Adam.
Delightful to see. What have you been doing yourself? Come on, have you dipped your toe in? What's your
Yeah,
army of choice?
absolutely. I mean, when you work at Games Workshop and at Warhammer World especially, it's hard not to. So I've been building up an Orc and Goblin Tribes
really?
army, yes. Lots of bits for a nomadic war in particular. I just love the idea of these Orcs and Goblins mounting up and racing off to go and raid and pillage Bretonnian farms and places in the Border Princes, and then racing off again with all their loot.
Those turnip farmers don't know what's coming.
They really don't.
I love it. That sounds amazing. So we've had lots of great stuff in 2024 already. What can we expect to see before the end
What
of
can
the
we
year?
expect
Well, hot on the
next?
heels of the Dwarf launch, we have the Warriors of Chaos making their return to the old world.
Awesome.
We're in an interesting time period in the
Yeah,
setting
because they retired all
where
that previous
Chaos has
stuff.
been waning in power a little bit, but with the rise of a certain Everchosen and that doom approaching, Chaos is on the rise again. And
A
we
certain
begin to cover that
Everchosen,
in the
new
Chaos Arc.
Horus,
That's very exciting.
Archaon.
We're on the approach from a historical point of view to a very exciting time
Please.
within Warhammer's sort of setting and chronology, aren't we?
Absolutely. The Siege of Prague and the battles
Oh,
around Kislev
that's right. That's a
mark
million
some of
years
the
ago.
most
It's the one
important
before
points
or
in this
Archaon. Yeah,
period.
yeah.
But we've got a lot
I forgot the
of
time
distance to
period for a
cover
moment.
Before we reach that climactic battle.
It's a way off yet, but you can see it
100%.
distantly on the
Yeah,
horizon.
absolutely. And as I say, we've got so many events to cover, and as anybody who's been following the narrative in the Arcane Journals will see that we've been sort of jumping all over the place
The
and
before-
really enjoying
the
the sandpit of
Chosen.
this time period we have to look at.
That's really exciting. So Chaos Warriors within 2024. If we look a little bit further out, sort of beyond the horizon, as it were,
It's
what
got to
can
be
you tell us about
Kislev, right? Because they announced that
Well, it would
before
be improper,
TOW,
really,
like
for us to
5 years
follow the
before
Warriors
it.
of Chaos with anything other than the Empire of
So
Man.
surely it must be
The
Kislev.
two have been
That's what they
classic,
led with.
Foes for as long as Warhammer has been around. So again, it just made absolute sense for the Empire to follow up.
That sounds so exciting. The old world setting just continues to add something new to a system that so many of us love and enjoy.
Oh, Empire.
So
Okay,
really
never
excited
mind.
having you come and join us, Dan.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
taking
me.
the time. Some amazing stuff from the studios about Warhammer 40,000. Warhammer
They
Age of
cancelled
Sigmar,
Kislev in a
Age of
footnote
Darkness,
on an
and the
article.
Old
Oh, I didn't know
We've
that.
also got loads on the way for our
I didn't know that.
systems. Necromunda. Hive Secundus took us underground with the terrifying Gene
Well, it's Empire. Let's
Expect to see
go.
another faction release this
He
year.
shot
And further
Kislev
into
in the
future,
back.
We'll be looking at other factions to add. Kill Team. The big news is Hivestorm. The new edition
The
of Kill
big
Team.
news
We're
is
looking forward to seeing
Hivestorm.
people get hold of the new rules. Going into the new year, we'll continue to release Kill Teams
Hivestrom.
and box sets to add more scenery and locations to your games. Underworlds. Plenty happening here. Before the end of 2024, you'll see new warbands being released. And in 2025, we'll continue to build up those factions.
Okay.
Warcry. We've just released Briar and Bone, which we know the community were waiting to get their hands on.
I really don't like what
This
those
year has seen
guys
some
look
great
like.
Teams released, including our favourites, the Gnomes. Everybody loves a badger. We've also just revealed the Chaos Dwarf team coming to Blood Bowl very soon, and there's plenty more in 2025.
Ugh.
Well, we've got time for one more reveal.
Let's
And it's
go.
Something very precious that I'm incredibly excited about.
Are
I
you?
hope you will be too. Before I leave you, remember, if you want to stay up to date with the latest Warhammer news, head over to Warhammer.
It has to be a 40k reveal, right? Because they
let's see
didn't
that extra
do anything for
special final
40k. Oh, man. I shouldn't. It's fine.
Good
I shouldn't.
job, King.
Regular Zebra, thanks for the sub. 38 months. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot they were making this game. Wow. Well, there's your very special treat. Wow. People just spamming Z's in their chat. Where's my fucking roadmap, Eggman? I love the background chat. F. Garbage, actually terrible. Keiko Shinada. What a scam. Dude, this is... I love reading their chat. Look. 2 Stormcast models looked really cool. I don't like the bird horses very much. Everything else was nothing. Slaves confirmed after Skaven and Stormcast. For Battle Tome? Okay. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I gotta say, I feel a little bad for Chorf people. Because what if all those rumors were just somebody who saw a Blood Bowl model in the company and they thought it was going to be in like the game, but it was actually just for Blood Bowl? How sad would that be? I can't help but feel bad for the poor people. One thing's for sure, it probably isn't the Old World. In my head, I was like, Honest Wargamer Rob was hyping up Chorfs for it to end up in Blood Bowl. I mean, that can't be. That can't be. I mean, good, in a sense. Because if Age of Sigmar is going to get a brand new army, I would like it to be a cool one. And not a really stupid one. But more so, I want them to, you know, get their ducks in order for all the armies they currently sell. That being said, a bunch of people really like Blood Bowl. You know, if I'm talking to like gamers, they will tell me that Blood Bowl is the best game that Games Workshop makes. And I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't play Blood Bowl. But it, as far as like people who like games, it seems like Blood Bowl is the most well taken game, I suppose. Roadmap and article. I will click. Can you post it? Can you post it in Discord? And then I'll click on it. Adams. Man, looking like a fire slayer. It's in Giga. All right. Cut the commercial. We're going to the article.
Introducing the best news for ice cream lovers since ice cream began. New Simple Pleasures. It's everything you love about ice cream, but no point. New Simple Pleasures is unbelievably rich, incredibly creamy, and absolutely top. Oh yeah. Because New Simple Pleasures is made with all natural pure athlete, yeah. Instead of point. New delicious all natural Simple Pleasures. There's never been an ice cream like it.
Oh, we're back. Apologies, vampires. There's no dark mode on the site, and I switched to Brave, and Brave doesn't have that. So apologies. It's noon right now, apparently. What do we got? Iridian the Witness. Witness me. Strikes a morbid... Hold on. Enhance. Enhance. Iridian the Witness strikes a morbid figure from atop their Morgrief Ariax, wielding the axe of the final threshold. Oh, man. Hey, alright. Dude, I love how the bird has its own little executioner's hood. Isn't that funny? I like the flowing chain on this guy. We got some... What are these? These are all hourglasses. Okay, neat. Double smokestacks. A little global warming. Bird stuff. He looks great. I like him. Pole axe. Before reforging, Iridian was an Azurite scholar whose memory became eidetic when they were transformed into a storm-chased Eternal. Their ability to recall countless years of military stratagem provided a vital asset to Sigmar, but they were forever tormented by intense recollections of horrendous battles. Eidetic is like kind of photographic in a sense, except for dates and stuff. Oh yeah, the wings do look weird from the side, don't they? I suppose you're not supposed to look at it from that angle. Don't look. Don't look at my other angle. After a pilgrimage to a shrine on Morda, Iridan Stormrage was granted knowledge they have since only shared with Sigmar and Ionist Cryptborn. With this insight, they became the first to grant a comrade suffering from the curse of reforging a true death. Iridan Stormrage is now deployed to any battle where Stormcast Eternals are in danger of losing themselves completely, never once forgetting the face of one they have put to rest. Wouldn't it be cool if he had a mechanic on his war scroll to, like, kill one of your own guys? That'd be kind of neat. Lord Vigilant on Morgarith. Ooh, put the paper bag back on. I'm thinking less Griff, am I right? The rulers of the Beak Citadels are known as Lord Vigilants. Gaolers and commanders both, they live well beyond the eye of the storm. That moment of stillness before the worst effects of the reforging curse set in. They endure in a strangely calm and liminal, good word, existence thanks to blessings from the death god Morta. Okay, I mean, I like glaives and everything, but the other one is cooler. Lord Celstant. Sorry, their hallowed weapons contain a spark of the Beak Raven's ceremonial fire and burn so powerfully they can reduce an enemy to ash, with particularly potent effects against those who subvert the cycle of life and death. Okay, alright. To become a Lord Celstant is to bear the immense burden of endless war, a tough task even for an immortal warrior. Nevertheless, each has proven themselves a peerless combatant and keen tactician, time and time again. Man, they could have chosen a non-derpy face here. Don't like the face. Very derp. Very derp. Oh, they got a Conan the Barbarian girl-looking head and then a mask head. Okay. I kind of like the lion stuff. This is like the same exact paw, just about, that's on the Frostlord on Stonehorn, except it only has 3 prongs because it's a bear. I just noticed that because I've painted that exact thing so many times. That's the male head? Well, it's a... Is it? I mean, whatever makes them comfortable. I like to believe that it's a female head because they're not good at sculpting female faces usually. And I thought they did a good job here, and I was about to tell them that they did a good job. Anyway, the pose looks a lot better than in the video. They command with a practiced calm, and when the fighting is at its thickest, they are more than willing to wade in. With a wide range of options, including heads and weapon choices, the new Lord Celstant allows you to forge your very own living legend. To lead your forces, oh hell yeah. Lord Relictor, oh let's go, tasked with guarding the souls of their kin upon death. Lord Relictors are of exceptional importance to each Stormhost. They are clad in a sinister black garb that represents the near endless cycle of life, death, and resurrection. Dominates the existence of every Stormcast Eternal. But despite their morbid mien, I guess? Mien.
Mean.
But despite their morbid mien, They are symbols of hope rather than dread. All right, we got it. Yeah, he looks fucking awesome. Oh, cool. They still have the Sigmar backpack with his own skeleton inside of it. Extra drapes here. Unfortunately, those are sculpted in, which is a bit of a shame. I thought they stopped doing that. They do up here. But yeah, this looks great. Oh, one eye. Little iconography there. Yeah, the Relictor looked awesome before. Oh, dude, the Skeletor helmet? Alright, this one looks cool and everything, but you know that this is the one you're using. I love it. Great work. Big hammer, bigger hammer. Yeah, he's got the Misfits shirt head. Lord Terminos. Alright, we got a new Lord Terminos. That's a huge... Why is it so big? Oh, cool. I rather like the neat looking helmet he's got underneath the hood. And this guy's pointing to Knight U. Absolutely massive two-hander there. Big squid face. He's casting Time Walk. Yeah, I like it. He's cool. I like it. He's cool. Armed with a blade Terminos. Yeah, it looks like it. This shit's 7 feet long. Either in the form of an axe or an executioner's sword. Nice. Reclusians. Alright. Sword and shield version. I did see one dual wielding. Where were those? Flanged maces. Is this what the new update for the Star Soul maces are supposed to look like? Everything else is so cartoonishly proportioned that I can't help but feel that the flanged mace heads look small. Like just the size of the head of them. And it's not true, they're not. But because everything else is so cartoon that it's fine. They look awesome. I like them. Paladins are back. And we got Star Soul maces. Uncle Fester has been juicing. 3 Indomitable, or Indomitable if you prefer. Reclusians to the battlefield, new poses heads, plus 2 Memorians. To keep their sense of self anchored to the battlefield, which I think is a really cool little lore tidbit. Stormstrike Paladers. I don't like the Chocobo horses. But they look better than the other ones, I guess. This dude's mad. I mean, they're very nice. I just don't like bird mount, half and half bird mount things. You liked the old Paladers. I hated the old ones, and I don't like these, so obviously just the concept just isn't for me, right? If you like that kind of thing, they look obviously very good. Nice cloth, folding over things. A little more armor, which I appreciate. Flag bearers. I just like flags, what can I say? And then, dude, okay, actually, put a lance, put a, honestly, kind of realistic looking lance in his hands, and that's way better. That's so much better than, like, swords. Yeah, I'm in. This looks so much better. Oh, the mighty Stormhorn. The Knight Deuteros. Yeah, I like the lance. You know what? Adding a lance, suddenly I like it now. He doots the mighty Stormhorn. Stormreach Portal. Yeah, I mean, they chose Art Deco for the look of Azir. So they did that. That's what this is. And now Stormcast is cursed with having a terrain feature you have to buy and paint and probably stand around. Some people like that. Some people don't like that. Yeah, this is big. It's a big old octagon. Can I see the other side of it? Is it an actual... Oh, it really is like a mausoleum kind of building. I see. That's sort of the shape of it, right? Except it's a portal. Alright. And we can see up here that it's like it's a copy-paste job on one half and another. Yeah, one side is the life side, one side is the death side. This will be sold out on their web store for the next 17 years. How do they think we're carrying this around? Ask an OBR player or a GITS player. You get a big box. It's a pretzel stand. Dude, I could go for a pretzel right now. All the miniatures will have information and rules in the upcoming Battle Tome, Stormcast, Eternals. Well-rendered art here. A few dudes in the background. And they at least don't have, like, the basic troop. They have a Terminus guy on the front. The Recluse. Just like Battletome Skaven, there's also a Gamers Edition. Oh, Gamers Edition? Gamers Edition. Cool. Alright, is this like the Collector's Edition that doesn't have the game in it? Including cards, which cover all your primary Stormcast Eternal rules, alongside War Scroll cards. We're preparing an article on how Battletomes have been refreshed for the new editions, so stay tuned for more information. Liberators. Oh, they rearranged a little bit how the cards are supposed to look, I see. Lord Vigilant on Griff Stalker. Battle Trait, Signs of the Storm, Celestian Realm. Gamers Edition. Any gamers? Alongside the new releases, there are wider releases for self-rule of the units which first appeared in Skaven Tide, such as the Liberators and Prosecutors. The Lord Imperator Knight Arcanum first appeared in the Dominion box 3 years ago, alongside Storm Coven, who were originally part of the Warhammer Underworld's Weird Hala. New edition Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now it's time for a roadmap. Oh, wait, could it be? An actual so far, okay. There's a lot of so far on the roadmap, but alright. Actually, enhance. A new edition tore its way into the mortal realms. Yay. Remember when that happened? The Dongbringer saga drew to a close. The Who? And the Skaven Tide or whatever. Revolutionary Spearhead game mode landed. And it's going down... And it's going down a storm. Is that a saying? In Britbong land? Going down a storm? 2025, all factions. Spearhead. Orc War Clans, Gloomspite Giats, Death. So, Iron Jaws, Spearhead. Gloomspite Giats, Spearhead. Death soon. And then stuff. Boxes. Buy it. Still to come. Me. Battletomes galore, including Skaven, Stormcast, and Slaves of the Darkness. How to make a 1024 by 768 image with one piece of information on it. One. Wait, and beyond? Age of Sigmar? How does the line work? What am I supposed to read first? Probably here, right? So far, still to come, and beyond, Warhammer, and then we go up to Army Boxes and Spearheads, Death, Spearhead, and then all factions, and then 2025. We're making a horseshoe. All factions what? What do you mean all factions? They shouldn't have a line up on them? No, I think this is how you're supposed to read it. You're supposed to read it here, 2024. And then you go all the way down and beyond, even more to come. You are supposed to go right. And then you're supposed to go up because this is 2025. This is the end. So the journey of the roadmap is actually a U. And it ends here in the upper right, I think. That's very confusing because you're reading both of these kinda, and then you're like, oh, it's connected.
Good job, King.
Tyrant Mania thinks it's tier 1 for 45 months. Hold the map upside down to unlock the secret. Oh, you can fold each half in. It's like Mad Magazine. So Iron Jaws is getting a spearhead. Giats are getting a spearhead. And Slaves to Darkness is the third battle tome. Those 3 pieces of information is what this whole thing is. It is counterclockwise starting from left. That's true. Time is a flat horseshoe. First out of the gates are Skaven. Let's unenhance a little bit. First out of the gate is Skaven, who will be swiftly followed by Stormcast Eternals alongside everything we've shown above. Everything you've shown above? You mean just Slaves to Darkness? We'll also get a new Spearhead box featuring a Dark Oath Tribes. Yeah, we figured that. This will be joined in 2025, but oh, okay, so the first new Spearhead is Dark Oath. And then after that is Iron Jaws. And Gits. Hold up. First out of the gates are the Skaven, followed by Stormcast. Okay, I'm following along here. Skaven, Stormcast Eternals, right? Hot on their heels is Battletome Slaves of the Darkness, right there. Got it. So Slaves of the Darkness will also get a new Spearhead box. Not on the roadmap. No Slaves of the Darkness Spearhead on the roadmap. But it's actually next. And then in 2025, you'll get Auric Warclans and Gloomspite Gits. So I guess army boxes and spearheads, this part right here is the Slaves to Darkness. Yeah, it just says spearheads, and then it says spearhead up here for the other ones, and in between is death. You couldn't have put that in the graphic, the Slaves to Darkness spearhead? There was no room. We couldn't fit it. As for the Denizens of Death, we'll have more news on them in good time. Alright. Yeah, how are we supposed to know what happened so far? I've been in a coma. This is legitimately entertaining. It's so bad. Oh, man. Anyway, you know what Gamers Edition would be nice? Digital PDFs. On my phone. A little drop down. You know, the thing that Wahapedia basically does. Or I mean, Austin Weird Knobs. Graphic design is my passion. Yeah, funny, it's mine too, as I make memes in MS Paint for YouTube videos. This works than a Riffs book. Well, they didn't use exclamation points. Although they sometimes do. But they used fewer of them. I like this guy because of the lance there. I don't like these, but only because I don't like bird horses. If I did like bird horses, I would like them because the sculpts are good. I like Reclusians. I like Lord Terminos Man. I very much like the Lord Relictor, even though he is less wide gaming than he was before. I still like him. I wish all Stormcast kind of had this look to them, and more of them do now, so I appreciate that. I like that he's carrying around his own skeleton in his backpack still. That's a cool touch. And they got a little bit of what would you call it? Like an Odin reference with the one eye thing. There's a lot of Sigmar Odin crossovers. Lord Celston with some derpy faces. Big bird thing. You know, I kind of like the big bird thing. All they had to do was give it a hat. I'm conflicted. I like hats. Don't like birds. Give a bird a hat and put like a cool ass dude on it, and I guess I'm more okay with it. Yeah, it's a Catholic thing where you carry around the bones of saints and stuff like that. It is more of a cowl, you're probably right. I'm stretching the definition of a hat here. TF2 hat pilled, yeah, exactly. Alright, well, I'm shutting it off. I'm shutting off the brightness mode, okay? For the vampires in chat. Apologies, you had to sit through that. Apologia. At least AOS had something. Yeah, the other stuff was kind of a clickbait, wasn't it? 40k, nothing. Did anyone, like, we saw Blood Bowl Chorfs and Stormcast. And all the other games that they had on there, they're just like, hey, remember when we released this 3 months ago? Like, yeah. It's kind of too bad. Started working on a conversion of a Knight Relictor and a Lord Relictor last night. As soon as you started it, bam. As soon as you started washing your car, damn thunderclouds opened up. Ain't it always the way? Your Blood Bowl Discord is going wild over Troy. I bet they are, yeah. I bet they are. Another team of Legend. Check it off the list. How many more teams of Legend are there? I don't know. I don't know Blood Bowl at all. How many teams of Legend? 2 left? What are they? Tomb Kings and High Elves. Okay. Hey, those will probably be good for the people who want them, right? 40k YouTubers are going to have so much negative clickbait content for the rest of the week. Yeah, true. 40k shafted again. The thumbnails make themselves, right? GW is finished. Stock. Red stock down arrow, angry face, thumbs down, dollar signs, GW finished, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. Include Amazon in the title? Sure. They actually announced a ton of shit for 40k, they just didn't show any of it. Oh, okay. I was talking over it, so maybe that's my bad. Full plastic Krieg release and plastic Aspect Warrior refresh confirmed. Are both huge. That's Astra Militarum, right? Which is what IG is now. The controversy just got worse. Thanks for the follow, Stoli. 86er. Looking forward to 40k, being sad about how no new models and crying when they get new models that are girls are too different or too samey. I mean, I don't know if I would characterize them as always complaining. Because a lot of the shit they complain about sucks. You know? I don't want to diminish that. They are always complaining, though. Both of these things can be true. One of the reasons it's not a hard rule, like absolutely no, but the rule is try not to talk about 40k too much in my Discord. Like, it's one of the rules. And it's because anytime you bring up 40k, it immediately becomes just bitching about shit. And it's kind of insufferable to listen to as somebody who doesn't care about 40k. So I think both things are true. Yeah, they have some really legitimate things to complain about. But also, if you ever bring up 40k, it ends up being just 40k people bitching about shit, which is just a downer. I don't care. Talk about it everywhere else on the entire internet except my Discord. You have everywhere to talk about that. Zach Maples, thanks for the member for 4 months. Supremo. Sorcerer Supreme? Can't remember what I called it. Thanks for the YouTube sub. My dad works in Nintendo. I'll have him put more hats on the birds. Hey, thanks. Tell him to make the Corgi dragons look cool this time. And give us the Lightning Man. I want Vandus Lightning Hammer. Hand Lightning. Manus. You've been listening to Lorecast Eternals to learn AOS lore and having a bunch of fun. AOS lore is so dumb and so awesome. To put a bit more of a positive vibes back out there, yeah, that's kind of like what they do best in a way. Is something that everyone is just so we're all on the same page. This is going to be really dumb, but sometimes really cool. And we're just kind of having fun with it. Like, if you sort of set the scene with that, it makes it okay, I think. What would you rate the reveal out of 10 big hats? Well, are we only rating the AOS reveals? Obviously. AOS reveal. 6 big hats out of 10 big hats. I really like the leader guy. I really like the Relictor. The Reclusian Terminos, pretty decent. Not too big on the bird horses. And I wanted more. I wanted a new Celestin Prime that actually looked cool this time. I wanted a Lightning Man, Vandus Hammerhand. I wanted some Foot Wizards, some Sarcosanct, which is probably just gone, I guess, forever now. I guess I wanted more. I was left wanting more. So I'll give it a tepid 6 out of 10 big hats. What they did show was pretty cool. But Skaven won this round. They actually won twice, because they won the voting thing, and then their release was cooler. If you have to compare them. Soulbound was a humongous boost in the quality of lore, yeah. They made a concerted effort at that moment. I agree. Yeah, the only things Skaven are really missing for the most part are Ashen. You wish we'd get new Gluttons and Butchers, instead we got even more Stormcast. I mean, it was going to be Stormcast, so... Like, you might not know this, but a few weeks ago they ran a poll. And whoever won was going to blow up some city on a map somewhere for map people. And it was a public vote, and everybody wanted Skaven, and so Skaven won, and then they got the reveal. And now, a few weeks later, Stormcast got the other reveal that they could have gotten earlier. And so it was never going to be Ogres. I would like to see new Ogres, but I'm realistic about the timeline of that, so... Pestilence still needs a foot hero, you think? Yeah, and I think they still technically have like an old one or something. Ogres are like a 2-year minimum. I don't know what the minimum is, but I imagine it won't be particularly soon. You gotta hedge against your copium, right? And it's still unclear. I mean, we're flipping a coin for 5th edition AOS as far as ogres. We shall see. I got plenty of cool shit to chew through, so. Stormcast need a foot wizard? True, they used to have a few of them. Bring back the Incanter. This time cuter and bigger. Rumor is Oga's next spring. I heard that one too. But again, I'm hedging my bets. You know, you can't fall fully into the cope, right? And what a peaceful... Maybe I should do the peaceful walk after reveals for some decompression every time. You have an ogre army and a soulblight army. One wants to eat you, the other wants to drink you. I like the cut of your jib. Zach Maples. Could have been ogres and Stormcast armors bursting because of their overweightness. If they do man-eaters, if they do like the mercenary man-eater kind of thing in AOS instead of just retire those old models and concept, that's kind of what it'll look like, I imagine. Because the old thing is they were mercenaries who went off and learned some other culture and then came back to ogres. And so if they remade them, except for Age of Sigmar, there would be like one ogre who's like an honorary Stormcast in ill-fitting, you know, golden armor with a big hammer. One of them has like a mohawk and no shirt and like runes that he has just drawn on his body, you know, like a Fire Slayer ogre. One of them maybe has like a swordfish, like a little fish friend and an eel and stuff, and he's just like eating an octopus like an old boy. His skin's blue, he lost half of his soul somehow. But just make it like a real Age of Sigmar style army references. I think that could be kind of fun if they want to do that. Although that does sound like more of a Underworld warband or a Warcry thing, you know. Doc-themed ogre? Yeah. Where the upper half is an ogre and the bottom half is a absolutely wide ass snake, like just an obscenely wide snake. Anyway, they go humorous with those things, so. Anyway, it was always just going to be a reveal stream tonight. I'm not going to yap your heads off. I got some work to do. So thanks for stopping by. And thanks for watching The Watch. I'm going to find somebody to raid on Twitch if you want to stick around for exactly 3 more minutes. Give somebody some viewers in the Warhammer channel. And thanks for stopping by. I'll see you guys. I think tomorrow I'm doing a Dungeons & Dragons 5.5 edition review because that just came out. And then Friday, Age of Sigmar. Thanks for watching. Always remember that your hearts are blazing. Join the Discord if you feel like it. And can read, because we do have a puzzle to be able to see all the channels. You got to be able to read. It's a tough nut to crack. Anyway, TY for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.